When the coronavirus reached Europe in early 2020, China, which had failed to contain the outbreak on its own soil only weeks earlier, wasted no time trying to change the narrative in its favor. Italy, among the first in Europe to feel COVID-19's impact, was one of Beijing's primary targets. As Chinese medical equipment and medical teams arrived in some of Italy's hardest hit regions, a pro-China media blaze exploded online. The goal was simple: to manipulate the internal political debate in Italy, mislead the public, and pitch China as the world's COVID savior. This effort paid off. An April 2020 poll found that 52% of Italians felt that China had Italy's best interest at heart, and 36% wanted a stronger future relationship with Beijing. How did China manage to swing public opinion to their side? After being the source of a virus that has killed tens of thousands in one of Europe's hardest hit countries? The answer lies in a strategy that states like Russia or China have deployed for decades: disinformation. Scholars define disinformation, which is derived from the Russian Disinformation, as false information spread deliberately to deceive. The practice was perfected by the KGB, and Russian operatives used the technique during the Cold War to disrupt US foreign policy. Fittingly, China's false narratives about COVID-19 in Central and Eastern Europe have roots in Russian propaganda protocol. According to research conducted by my company, Semantic Visions, the first COVID-19 focused disinformation appeared as early as January the 20th, 2020, in Russian state-owned media. This false narrative accused the United States of producing COVID-19 as a biological weapon. And it was this Russian narrative that was later taken up by pro-China media and amplified by Chinese governmental propaganda. The story became an important tool for China to divert public attention away from accusations of its initial mishandling of the crisis. This became particularly noticeable when the narrative was championed by Chinese officials on social media, including Zhao Lijian, a chief spokesman for the Chinese Foreign Ministry. The fact that Chinese propaganda amplified a false story created by the Russian disinformation ecosystem indicates, at a minimum, a convergence of Russian and Chinese interests in the disinformation sphere. But more importantly, parroting Russian falsehoods is a shift for China. While China has long relied on propaganda and disinformation to convince the international community of its intentions, policies, and power, China has rarely so blatantly used deception to further its interests. Now, perhaps for the first time, the Chinese have embraced the Russian model of disinformation to fool people into believing something with no basis in fact. This signifies a dangerous escalation of what I call dictatorship 2.0. In the past, dictators ruled through force. Today, they harness information. Those who control the media control the minds of the people. Eastern Europe is no stranger to this type of propaganda. In the Czech Republic, for instance, between the Soviet invasion in 1968 and the fall of communism in 1989, we were fed false stories that a Soviet presence was not an invasion or occupation, but rather brotherly help. Thus, here in Central and Eastern Europe, we understand well the nature of hostile propaganda. But what China is doing today is far more dangerous, simply because it is so little understood. China is pioneering a new form of state-controlled society, and information is the medium. Only with a better informed public and tougher reporting and government control will the true narrative of China's activities in Europe become the prevailing one.